Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're lonely again here in the studio, but we've got enough company for everyone.
No Jeff.
Oh, it's a great day.
Hopefully he's back. Hopefully he's back on Monday.
Oh.
Fitch just talks a lot of shit.
Okay.
It's all good. That's his habit. He's extremely excited right now
We
because
love
of what's
that.
going on in Australia.
You're wearing another turtleneck.
I'm wearing a turtleneck.
A fresh haircut. We love that.
New haircut. I'm sure you guys know where I got it from.
Lady James.
Talk about that later. Fridays are good days. We made it past Friday Eve. Is that what it's called, guys?
Yes.
Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. Yeah.
Friday
Stupid.
Eve
What a
no
stupid
longer.
thing I've ever
Now
heard
you
in
can
my
say
life.
Saturday Eve. You never heard of Friday
you know what
Eve?
made me comfortable last night is that we posted that clip on YouTube, and somebody commented, "Adam, I'm with you. I have never heard of Friday's Eve," and it just brought so much joy to my heart, knowing that I'm not alone in this world. You know what I mean? That matters.
You know what else matters? The fact that you picked the first thing in your drawer today, and it happened to
be a turtleneck. I know. I mean, aren't you wearing a turtleneck technically?
Technically, I guess you could call this a turtleneck. I think it's like a tunic. I think
What's
that's what it's
yours?
called.
Just what?
It's floppy.
It's floppy. Mine's like buttoned up.
I don't know. I got nothing.
I got nothing for you. You know who else got nothing for me? The Detroit Red
Wings.
Wings. It's really bad last night. God bless Alex Nedeljkovic.
Yeah.
Unbelievable performance. 26, 27 saves last night. He made some incredible saves in the third period when it was only 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he gave the Wings everything he could give them.
He's been doing that.
He has been, and he's been a fantastic goalie, really the definition of what a number one is.
The rest of the team has given him nothing.
My goodness, this team is struggling for goals right
Yeah.
now. And not only are they struggling for goals, they have not scored more than 4 goals. Hell, more than 3 goals in their last 4 games. And in their last 10 games, they have scored less than 3 goals 7 out of the 10 times. That is not a recipe for winning hockey. And there's a certain somebody that holds a very special place in my heart, Lucas Raymond, who I have to say is on an extreme slump, and nobody's talking about it. So for the month of January, we've played 6 hockey games. 0 goals, 2 assists. Okay? Rough start to the month. I wouldn't overreact if it didn't mean he wasn't slumping in December too. His last goal was December 1st, 2021.
Against the Kraken.
Against the Seattle Kraken, absolutely, Fish. And why does that matter? Well, in November, the kid had 5 goals and 7 assists. In December, he had 1 goal and 6 assists. And this month, he has 0 goals and 2 assists. Not sure if the game is catching up to him. I'm not sure if he's just in a slump, which, I mean, he clearly is in a slump. Jesus Christ. I hate when that happens. That is the most unpredictable thing up on this desk every single morning. And I'm sorry you guys have to deal with it. But anyways.
You want me to fix it?
We'll fix it later.
Okay.
It is not important right
Why
now.
fix it now?
Why fix it now? It already happened. Anyways, Lucas Raymond is struggling. And it is kind of concerning for me. Not that, he's not going to turn out to be a great player, et cetera, et cetera. No. But this team is struggling for goals.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Larkin, he couldn't stop scoring a few weeks ago. Everyone is silent right now. Bertuzzi, Larkin, everybody that you need to, Raymond, everybody that needs to be scoring goals.
Is not.
Nothing. Not running enough plays. And I think that's the biggest knock on Jeff Blashill from at least the public opinion I've seen. And from watching the Wings, I don't blame them for having that feeling. You've never had a more talented team than the team you have now. Yes, they're young, but they are talented. You're telling me you cannot come up with more ways to enter the zone that offer opportune goal-scoring chances. I get Wings fans' frustrations, I really do. But the Lucas Raymond thing for me is extremely concerning. 1 goal since December 1st. Won. And it happened on December 1st. It's not even like it came like late December and he's just in a slump again. No. It's been well over a month. Well over a month. We're entering the 2-month mark in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed watching the past few games is there just doesn't seem to be very much chemistry. They look almost confused on the ice every time they're on offense. It's like they're not really sure what to do with the puck. They're not getting to the right places, and when they do score, quite frankly, it's not even planned.
No, and it's a lot of off-the-cuff hockey. Pressure in the zone is fine, but when you try to... I mean, you saw it last night, too. You're trying to pressure the Winnipeg Jets in their own zone.
Yeah.
It's not a team effort. And what I mean by team effort is when you press, everybody has to be pressing. Why? Because the minute they get out of the zone, it's basically 3-on-2 for your defense. And that is not a good position to be in. That means the opposing team will likely get a good shot on target. And Alex Djokovic, again, last night. Phenomenal game. Really looking forward to him being the goalie one for the near future. Loving. What'd they trade for him? Nothing. Acquired him from the Carolina Hurricanes for basically nothing. That's my kind of deal, Steve. But anyways.
I have no doubt they'll turn it around. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't know what happened or
I'm concerned
what
with
broke,
the ability to score points right now.
Yeah.
I really am. It's a slump that's almost, you're talking 3 weeks just for the team. And then they'll break out and they'll have a 4 or 5 goal night. And then it's back to losing 3-1, 4-2, 5-1. It doesn't work in the NHL. And we talked about it earlier in the season. It's a young team. And consistency is something you can always expect with a young hockey team. But my goodness, I mean, Verona couldn't come back anytime sooner at this point. You need goal scorers. It's so obvious. You need guys that can enter the zone, make a play or two a game, and get you a goal when you need it. Especially on a night when you're not generating anything from the point. You're not entering the zone in I would say, a threatening way. You're just dumping the puck, attacking the boards, and hoping to get, I would say, 1, 2 good chances.
Yeah.
Tough to watch the Wings, honestly. It really was. It really is.
Yeah.
And Klump, future question mark. He's already a number one. Of course he's a number one. But the point is, excited to see him as a number one when the team is actually good. When they're playing meaningful hockey games. And look, they're 16, 17, and 4? The record does not indicate just how bad they've been since December. They've won a lot of games, but time to turn it around. Really is. They gotta get the puck in the net. So, we'll move on from the Wings. In different news, Fish, if you'll do everyone a public service announcement, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Can you explain what the hell is going on in your country?
Well, my country is using their brains and being smart. They canceled Djokovic's visa again. The Ministry of Health said, it's about the public pressure, and that's basically why they did it. So I guess they had a legal court about 3.5 hours ago, or 3 hours and 15 minutes ago, and Djokovic, not shockingly, he's not going to step down as people thought he was. Well, no one thought he was, but he's not stepping down. He's going to challenge it again, which is smart for him, because why would he go through all this and then say, I'm just going to back down? That would be stupid. So Sunday's the day that we'll find out whether he plays or not, and they could ban him from the country for 3 years, which is just we're not renewing his, I believe it's his Australian visa. I hope they don't do that. So we'll see. But Djokovic is in a lot of trouble. So it's going to be rough for him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. As somebody that doesn't watch a lot of tennis, but I'll pay attention to the majors every once in a while, given the big names. If he does not play, there's zero chance I pay attention to the Australian.
I was very shocked they actually did it yesterday.
What is it?
I was very shocked that they actually canceled his visa. I didn't think they'd do it. So
yeah, well, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that you're not surprised. It does not shock me. They're stupid. The country's stupid.
Or they're smart.
You call it smart. I call it stupid.
Okay.
Two different definitions of
cool.
what they're doing.
Cool.
We got to go to break. When we get back, oh my goodness, NFL Super Wildcard weekend. One of the best times of the year. 6 games. My goodness. Can't get any better. 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday. My goodness. Football all weekend long. I'm ready for it. But before we go, I got to tell you about our new partner here at the Woodward Sports Network, Syntron. Guys, follow Syntron on their social media at Syntron World to see all of the inspiring things they're up to, from empowering women to supporting entrepreneurs. Find them anywhere from hockey games to concerts and also charity events. They're the official energy drink of the Detroit Pistons and the Detroit Red Wings. Want to try a drink? Head down to the LCA. Go check out a game. Syntron is offered down at the LCA. We'll see you guys right after the break.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer.
We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, we're heading into a very exciting weekend. First 2 games of the season, we've got the Raiders and the Bengals, and as well as the Patriots and the Bills. How are we feeling going into these games?
I'm feeling great. I have zero expectations.
Zero stress.
Zero stress. It's not like I'm watching the Lions play football. Fantasy football's over. I have not made a bet on this game, so there's zero stress for me involved. But I think there's a great story to tell about this game. And that is both of these players are making their playoffs debuts. And who am I talking about? Derek Carr and Joe Burrow. Derek Carr, we all remember his MVP-esque season, but he got hurt at the end, so he never got to play in that playoff game. Here we are, wild card team, playing division winner Cincinnati. Derek Carr versus Joe Burrow. I'm all for it. 2 young, very talented quarterbacks. I know you all don't like Derek Carr like I do, but you'll come around. You'll come around. But, Maddie, for me, this game is decided on quarterback play. Nowhere else. Nowhere else can this game be won or lost. Not by the defense, not by the run game, the trenches, nothing. Quarterback play will determine who's winning this football game.
I agree. I think whoever shows up, honestly, it's gonna be interesting, I think.
Well,
I have the Bengals going into this game.
I'll get to that in a little bit. But for me, what this game symbolizes is just how you can turn it around in the NFL. Given you do the right things, of course. And, I sat up here, 12, 13, 14 minutes yesterday to start the show. And I explained to you what is success. The Cincinnati Bengals, that is the definition of success. Right there. Turn around in a very difficult division and win it. The Raiders, 10-7. That is a success. Now, wild card, is that my preference? Absolutely not. But you know what? They reached the wild card. Coach was fired early on in the season. They lost their number 1 wide receiver to a horrible incident. And the interim coach comes in, and they somehow continue to win games. And it's unbelievable to see. So I love this. This is such a great storyline game. When I look at both quarterbacks, they're both very similar in terms of touchdown to interception ratio, their production. But who's going to turn the ball over? They're both very turnover prone. Joe Burrow, double-digit interceptions this year. So Derek Carr. 14 interceptions for Derek Carr this year, 14 for Joe Burrow. Who's going to throw and make the mistakes that cost their team the game? And I'm inclined to believe that it will be Derek Carr on Sunday. I think the Cincinnati Bengals, granted, both teams, I could argue, have a very good pass rush. Probably the Raiders would edge out the Bengals in that matchup. But I'm all in on the Bengals winning this game. I've got them winning. Final score, 27-23. Give me the Bengals moving on, winning their first playoff game. But either way, Maddie, one of these quarterbacks is getting their first playoff win. One of these coaches are getting their first playoff win. And if you were to ask me who's it more important for, which outcome is more important for a franchise, a coach, a player? I think it's the Bengals. Zach Taylor, year 2. Everyone slept on him last year. He's a horrible coach, even though he lost his quarterback, but that's beyond the point. Goes in year 2, wins the division. Bengals were an awful team last year. Division winners the next year. From worst to first. It happens in the NFL every year. And here we are. I think narrative-wise, if the Raiders win, not much changes for me. Maybe it validates Derek Carr a little bit, so I feel better about that. But I think the Bengals benefit so much from it. Their first playoff win in God knows how long. Zach Taylor, the first coach to win a play. I can't believe I'm saying this. Can't believe it. Marvin Lewis, the longtime Cincinnati Bengals head coach, made the playoffs a multitude of times. Won the division a multitude of times. Never won a playoff game. Zach Taylor could be the first Bengals coach to do it in a very long time. Joe Burrow, the first quarterback to do it in a very long time. So for me, the narrative all sits in the Cincinnati Bengals court. And I'm happy for him. And we'll move on to the next game. A game that we'll be witnessing for the 3rd time this year. The New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. Mac Jones, Josh Allen, Bill Belichick, Sean McDermott. Good matchup. I've seen this story play out twice. One in really bad weather in Buffalo. The other in normal conditions where Buffalo was able to go on the road and really save their season against New England. They lose that game to New England. New England's hosting this playoff game. New England likely could be even a 1 seed. Maybe momentum shifts for New England. But regardless of the point, here we are. New England versus Buffalo. Maddie, this is a tricky game to call. They split the season series. A lot riding on the line. But again, let's talk about narrative. Who does it matter more for? The rookie quarterback and the longtime successful coach, or the up-and-coming quarterback, the up-and-coming coach, who reached an AFC title game last year, but could exit in the wild card? For me, the Bill already reaching the playoffs 2 years removed from Tom Brady, I think is impressive enough. He doesn't need the playoff win to validate a good season, in my opinion. The Bills losing to the Patriots in the wild card round, total disaster.
Yeah.
Total disaster. This is a team I projected before the season started to win the Super Bowl. Not get there, win the Super Bowl. They better start peaking at the right time. And now's the time. Start playing your best football right now. Who's going to decide this game? Honestly, it's cliche to say whoever wins the turnover battle. But it's really going to matter in this game more than any game across the board on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Why? Bill Belichick. You make mistakes, Bill Belichick will make you pay. And New England doesn't have this dynamic offense where you'll be up 7-0, 10-3, 14-3, and they'll come back and beat you with big plays. No, they're a run-heavy offense, play action, and they'll take a few shots downfield throughout the game. But Damian Harris, Stevenson, that run game, that offensive line, that's what's going to get the Patriots into scoring opportunities. And if you turn the ball over and they get up early, you're playing right into their game plan. So Josh Allen, this is a big game for Josh Allen. He had a good season. I wouldn't say an MVP type year, but he had a good season. 30-plus touchdowns. Turned the ball over a lot, yes, but okay. I'm willing to look past that. Josh Allen, are you a franchise quarterback?
I think so.
We all do, of course. But this is the game. This is it.
Yeah.
He showed it against New England the second time around. Everybody said, can Josh Allen deliver in New England? Mm-hmm. Can he get his team back and right the ship? He had an amazing game against the Patriots. Can he do it again? Now it's the playoffs. Different story. You lose in the wild card round, Bills fans not going to be so happy. I'm not saying people need to lose their jobs or he's not the franchise quarterback. No. But narrative-wise, the Bills have way more to lose than the Patriots. Patriots lose in the wild card? All right, rookie quarterback. They'll learn from it. They'll get better next year. The Bills, you feel like they're a win-now team. You feel like they have the roster that can compete for a long time. So, yeah, I find it interesting. People commenting on my turtleneck this morning. I knew I should have taken it off. You know, I didn't even realize I was wearing a turtleneck until I got in my car, and I was probably 10 minutes away from the studio. That's how... it was a very rough morning for me.
Yeah, you didn't have any coffee.
I didn't have coffee yet. This is what happens when you don't have coffee. You show up, it's not Turtleneck Tuesday, and you show up to work in a turtleneck.
You showed up on Saturday Eve in a turtleneck.
And I like some of the comments we have going in our chat. Cincinnati is the reason why you don't need more than 2 years to rebuild a team. By the end of year 3, we'll have seen enough to know if Holmes and Campbell are legit. And I am definitely on board with that. I agree 100,000%. Make the right decisions. Your team will turn good. But here I am. I'm an example of not making the right decisions. Wearing a turtleneck on Friday should only be worn on Tuesdays. I am letting the people down. But I will say, a lot of football this weekend. We covered the Saturday games. Later on in the show, we'll get to the Sunday games. And then we'll give our Super Bowl predictions, which I'm feeling pretty confident about mine. But I said that before the year started. But at least my two teams are in the playoffs. And they are looking pretty decent at this moment. Okay. I did have the Rams and the Bills going to the Super Bowl before the season started. That was my call, with the Bills winning. Very obtuse.
How do you feel about that now?
I feel okay.
Yeah?
Depends what happens with the Bills in the first round. I'm not really worried about the Rams. I think the Rams will take care of business. The Bills are definitely giving me a hard time. They're going against the greatest coach literally in my lifetime. Yeah. That's kind of concerning.
I think a lot of these games, though, the first play of the game, we're going to know exactly how it goes.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I'm thinking of just wearing a turtleneck for like a month straight. What do you guys think? A month straight?
Do you have enough?
I have to buy.
Oh, okay.
But I could be done this weekend. About
You can buy turtlenecks in like packs.
Yeah, I can buy like 4 or 5 turtlenecks. One for every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we just cycle through. Every week, you know I'm wearing a red one on Monday, a white one on Tuesday. I don't know what color this is on Wednesday.
That's like a brownish beige.
Whatever it is, I don't care.
Just don't wear a black one again.
Well, it depends where I sit.
Yeah, if he sits in the middle, it's fine.
Yeah,
depends where I sit.
fair.
If Jeff has COVID next week, again, I'll be here. I have no issue wearing black. But if I'm sitting over there, it's a big problem. All right, let's move on. I do want to talk about one more thing before we go to break. There was basketball last night. And before I get to the Pistons and what happened with Bol and how that trade fell through and what they're going to do with Jeremy Grant, we'll get to all that after the break. We got a few minutes. I do want to talk about a team that is flying extremely under the radar. Why? Because they don't have the best record in the NBA. And I think people are tired of talking about them, and not only them, but their star player. And that's the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. A triple-double last night and a dominating win against the Golden State Warriors, who do bolster the best record in the NBA. And for me, it was a refreshing reminder that come playoff time, this 27-17 basketball team is going to be the favorites in the East. And they were my favorites before the year, and I'm so happy that they're starting to come around right now. Giannis, 30 points, 11 assists, 12 rebounds in 30 minutes. Russell Westbrook, that's how you help your basketball team. Just so you know. You don't get a meaningless triple-double and lose by 30. Get a triple-double, at least win the game. At least win the game. Giannis is having a hell of a season. And I know he won't get MVP votes, but he has the second highest PER in the league. I think only Jokic has a higher PER. And then Steph Curry behind those two.
They're both from the same country.
Both from the same country. That is correct. Serbia, correct? I knew that one at least. Giannis is third in points, 28.5 per game. 11.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists. I mean, he's putting up just as good of numbers, if not better, than his previous MVP years. But nobody's mentioned him in the MVP conversation. Narrative matters, guys. Narrative always plays a part. Giannis, when he won his first and then his second, he was going to take over the league. It's his league now. He's the face of the league. Wins the championship. All right, maybe we're sick of Giannis.
Yeah.
NBA writers and voters are so bipolar. And they're so salty sometimes. And look, I'm of the mindset Steph Curry should be the MVP frontrunner, then KD, and then Giannis. But beyond the point, the guy's having an unbelievable season. Nobody's talking about it. So I feel like part of my job is to talk about things not many people are talking about. And I wanted to give Giannis his 2-3 minutes of fame because they have an unbelievable season. The Bucks are looking really damn good.
Yeah.
And again, guys, those kind of wins matter. When you're a team that is not gunning for the best record in your conference right now, you're kind of trying to find your rhythm, trying to get better. Maybe rhythm is the perfect word for it, but you're trying to find rhythm with your teammates heading into the postseason. And in comes Golden State, who you could very well play in the NBA Finals. And it's not like they sat their players. No. You took it to them. I love that. And I love that for the Bucks. And to be honest with you, if I could fast forward 5 months from now, and you told me that the Bucks repeated,
Yeah.
I would be extremely happy, because I would have to stop listening to the nonsense of you need a super team to win it all. Now, when you have a super team, does it make it extremely easy? Absolutely. I mean, the Nets should get out of the East.
Yep.
They should. That doesn't mean they will. So I'm rooting hard for the Bucks. I hope they continue.
I'm a big Bucks fan.
I really do. Oh, here we go. You know who ruined the definition and the meaning of a triple-double? Russell Westbrook. He really did. He ruined it not because he's not a very good player or that it was outstanding that he averaged a triple-double over a whole season, but he did it at the detriment of the team.
Yeah.
They were a 7 seed. They were barely over 500 when he had triple-doubles. Like, it was not the end-all, be-all. But regardless, we got to go to break. When we get back, the Bowl trade falls through for the Pistons. What does that mean for the Pistons moving forward? Jeremy Grant, one of the potential rumored suitors, was involved with the trade, being the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks. So where exactly is Jeremy Grant going? We'll get to that right after the break. But before we do, Braylon Edwards, I know you're not feeling great, but Ryan, you are. So I get to call you out today. Maddie and I openly challenged the bottom line.
We're ready.
To a challenge at the Folding Warehouse, home of the original football bowling pin game called Folding. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends. They have over 100 beers, a $2 Mystic beer machine, and multiple bars throughout the facility. Want to bring in your own food or have it delivered? Guys, they do it all, and they allow it all. Come and get your fold on. Check it out at foldingwarehouse.com. That's foldingwarehouse.com.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. Download our mobile app on Apple and Google Play. And also make sure to download our podcast wherever you listen, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. Guys, we were all excited about Bobo coming to Detroit. That's no longer the case. How are you feeling about that, Adam?
I'm disappointed. Why can't we have nice things? I'm being so serious. I was looking forward to the kid coming here. Of course, he fails a physical. But he wasn't injured. And when you fail a physical and you're not injured, I mean, that's really concerning, by the way.
Yeah, a little bit.
That means there's chronic damage. That means there's long-term, like you can see it 2-3 years, you're going to fall apart. Mm-hmm. And I'm really sad for Bull. I really am. Like, I actually thought he could be like a decent player in the league.
Yeah.
He can't get 6 minutes a game. Can't even get 6 minutes a game. Really unfortunate. Really frustrated at this point with the Pistons. What do I have to look forward to? Watch them lose every night by 30? I'm not.
Yep.
It's driving me nuts. It really is. Again, I'm going to watch the games. Root on Cade. Root on Sadiq. Hopefully Killian continues to develop.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ. You can't tell me it wouldn't have been nice to have a 7'2" skinny kid running across the court, running pick and roll. Beef stew. What was the conversation we were having? A bowl of stew?
Yeah.
Was that the nickname for the two? This was all well thought out and executed by Pistons fans. And a goddamn physical ruins it all.
Yeah.
And not only does it ruin it all, it puts the Pistons in a really weird position now.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant was reportedly being traded to the Knicks. They were a strong suitor. They went and got Cam Reddish for Kevin Knox and a first-round pick. You couldn't have traded Jeremy Grant for whatever the hell the Knicks were offering you. Now this dude is going to have to come back. Deadline's coming up, guys. I don't have patience for this. Can you trade Jeremy Grant, please? I said it before the year. You guys all wanted to take off my head. I get it. I know. I say things too early sometimes. But you guys come around eventually. And now we want to trade him, and we can't. Can I get a goddamn break from the Pistons? Please?
No.
Who are they going to trade him to? The Lakers? What the hell are you going to get from the Lakers?
Nothing that we want.
Nothing that you want. What in the hell are you going to get another suitor? Let's say, even if Portland was in the market. Lillard's out for the next 6 to 8 weeks. The hell's the point of that? Where's he going to go? Who are the suitors? The Lakers and the Knicks were at the top of the board.
Yeah.
Where else can you trade him? And what would you even ask for him, Maddie? Picks?
I guess. Because at this point in the season, what does it really matter to have a for lack of better words, a piss-poor player that's not going to have any chemistry with a team that already doesn't have chemistry? So you can't just bring another player in and expect us to all of a sudden play well because we already don't have chemistry. We already don't have consistency. So bringing someone in that's decent might give us a shot at winning a game or two, but it's not going to change the season for us. So at this point, we might as well just get picks.
I mean, at this point, you'll take anything for Jeremy Grant. Again, what is the value he brings to the team? Are you going to win this year?
No.
Okay. Are you going to win next year?
Nope.
Are you going to contend by year 3? Probably not. Probably not. Seriously, guys. When I say contend, I mean make a run for the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't see that in 3, maybe 4 years, 5 years, sure. But what are you going to haul? A Kevin Durant in free agency? Who's coming here in free agency that's going to turn it around like that? Nobody. So what does that mean? That means you need to take the Golden State approach. 4, 5, 6 years of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green up until they all enter their prime at the same time and you become a dynasty. Mm-hmm. That's what you're hoping for with the Pistons. You're not going to acquire James Harden, Kevin Durant, one of the top 10 players in the league. You're not going to do that. No. And how do I feel about Bull failing his medical? Do I think it's a sign that, the Pistons medical team doesn't have their act together? No, I think it shows that they actually do. And they probably caught something. And you can fail a physical for a multitude of reasons. Heart, blood pressure. The smallest thing can trigger a failed medical. If they have any concern about your ability to stay on the court, they can fail your medical. And I'm assuming with Bull, it's something to do with his knees. Because when you're that tall and lanky and you're trying to play basketball, I mean, your knees get shot pretty quickly. We saw it with so many basketball players, especially big men. So he could have chronic knee problems. Could have arthritis. Who knows? I still think even if he did, give him to us for half the year. It's worth a second-round pick in Magruder. Give me Bull for 10 games. I don't care. I would have enjoyed it at least.
Yeah.
I got to watch the rest of the, 42 games left on the year? With who? What big man? What am I looking forward to? They're 9-31 right now. It's going to be a hard year. It's going to be a hard stretch to watch Pistons basketball.
Yeah.
I hope they get better. Even if they don't make any trades, just play better basketball at this point. Mm-hmm. You're 40 games in. Come on, chemistry. Come on. Yeah. Let's move the ball more. Let's stop playing iso ball all the time. Let's run some plays. Let Cade be the facilitator A, Killian B. Sadiq, don't try to play hero ball. Pop and just literally run around the court, find your shot, and make it.
Honestly, if we could just more consistently shoot the ball, I don't really care about your chemistry.
If we could just score more than 20 points in a quarter, I'd be happy.
Yep.
Damn it,
We're
it
not
feels
asking for a whole lot here.
feels like every game you have a quarter or two stretch where you're not scoring more than 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And that's extremely frustrating. The ISO ball drives me crazy. It's bad enough I see it with Jeremy Grant. I don't mind it as much with Cade and Sadiq because they're young. But damn it, can we play basketball the right way? Please, you're not Giannis yet. You're not Kevin Durant. You're not Kyrie Irving. You're not one of the top players in the league to be playing ISO ball. So do me a favor and stop. Please. Am I asking for much? I feel like I'm being very reasonable with the Pistons right now. Trade Jeremy Grant. I don't care if it's for a pack of Oreos. I don't care. Trade him for a pack of Oreos. I will enjoy that pack of Oreos more than I'll enjoy Jeremy Grant on the court. I swear to God, I'm not joking now. I would enjoy dipping an Oreo in a cup of milk more than watching that guy play with this team. I want the ball in Cade's hands. I want it in Killian's hands. I want it in Sadiq's hands. Nobody else.
Can I have Oreos, Adam?
Do you have what is the question?
Can I have Oreos?
If they trade Jeremy Grant for Oreos, absolutely you can. You'd be the first one I'd share with.
Oh, you're nice.
I know. I don't get enough credit for being the nice guy I am. Anyways.
Did you see, speaking of Oreos, sorry to go so off topic. Did you see Stick's thing that he got? It like holds his Oreos on the side and it dips it in the milk.
Yeah, they have a bunch of cookie dumping milk items that you can get.
People are like, sick. You know that? This is why this country's obese.
They've got like tongs.
You
can
sickos.
Take tongs, dip in milk.
I mentioned
got, like,
Oreos
devices.
one time. Bang. There's already an invention because you're too goddamn lazy to dip it yourself.
No, I think you still have to dip it, but like it holds it in the handle of the cup. So it's like a mug. And so, like, it holds, like, a stack of cookies.
Yeah, it's got a lever.
You literally can't just take one Oreo at a time from the bowl or from the plastic itself.
You get your hands
this
in the milk.
This country is so
maybe
lazy.
It's portion control.
We're
it's
so
portion
lazy.
Control.
This is why you're all fat and obese.
No, you don't want to get your hands
because you
want to
keep
milk.
5 Oreos in a cup?
No, it's
portion
so that
control.
It's so that your hands don't get all the milk.
If it was portion control, I would be on it. But we both damn know they're taking 5 at a time and going hard. They're finishing that whole box of Oreos in a night.
Like you were yesterday?
Different thing I was doing yesterday. Not Oreos, but totally different subject. We're not going to bring that up
No,
right now.
we're not going there.
Moving on. Moving on. Chris Ballard, I don't know if you guys are aware, the GM of the Indianapolis Colts. One of my favorite GMs actually right now in the league. He's doing a hell of a job for Indianapolis. He came out yesterday and said, we are not committed to anybody, especially the quarterback in 2022, and he went on to be quoted in saying that the quarterback play in the passing game needed to be, quote-unquote, needs to be better. It's unacceptable. We embarrassed ourselves. And they should be embarrassed. You had to win one of your last 2 games, you didn't, and now you're out of the playoffs with the best running back in the league, one of the best offensive lines, one of the better defenses, all because you can't throw the ball. Isn't that funny? Detroit Lions fans, you want a glimpse into your future? The Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts. Very good offensive line. Good defensively. Can pound the rock. Control time of possession. Win the turnover battle. Quarterback doesn't make a ton of mistakes. Okay. That's what Jared Goff was down the stretch. Oh. They miss out on the playoffs because they can't throw the ball. Now, whether that's a creativity issue, play calling issue, I see it as a quarterback issue. A clear quarterback issue. And they do need to address it. And whether they go out and draft one this year, Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, whoever it may be, could care less. The fact that the GM comes out and says that so early on tells me everything. They're frustrated with the trade they made with the Eagles. They know they lost that trade pretty badly. And what is step 1, guys, of solving a problem? Acknowledging that there is one. And I'm hoping that the Colts do find a quarterback. I really do. I think it's important for them. Especially given I think they can win their division next year. Now, for all you people in Indianapolis, Andrew Luck's coming back. No, the hell he isn't. Can we stop that? I saw this guy look like he's enjoying his life on national TV. Standing up there next to the well-dressed, well-suited RG3, who looked like he was not enjoying his life. Give me a break. Andrew Luck not returning to the NFL. He isn't. So stop that. But Maddie, they need a quarterback. If I'm Indianapolis, I am all in, and I mean all in, on trading for Russell Wilson. And I am talking multiple first-round picks, a star player on one of the sides of the ball, and a few seconds. I am willing to dump 4 years of draft capital for Russell Wilson today.
Absolutely.
You with me?
Absolutely. I think that would be an extremely smart move for the Colts. He would fit in very well there. Not to mention he's an amazing player, and if they're looking to improve that quarterback game, that's exactly the person they're looking for. You're not trying to draft a new quarterback. You're looking for somebody that's already got it, and that person is Russell Wilson for sure.
I think Russell Wilson's a smart play. I do. Look, him, Rodgers, I'm sure trades will be entertained this offseason. But you got to go for one of them. And you got to hit. You got to hit. Indianapolis, you're in such a... I could use the example, oh, you're a quarterback away, join the club. Indianapolis, join the club. Everybody's a quarterback away. Are you willing to give up 3 first-round picks, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a pretty damn good player on maybe the offensive or defensive side of the ball? Are you willing to do that?
You can't win without a quarterback.
Nope.
So, yes.
Last team to win without a real quarterback. Nick Foles?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even consider them because that was just a magical run.
Right.
I consider the Joe Flacco run magical. Ray Lewis's last season. So many things had to fall into place. Trent Dilfer? Brad Johnson? Who's the last, non-real elite quarterback? I guess you could say Nick Foles. But unbelievable. Is that what you're going to bank your future on? A run? You want to be the New York Giants? Go for it. Oh, yeah. Well, we won the Super Bowl twice in 5-6 years.
Super Bowl!
And then we've had 8 losing seasons in our last 9. That's fun. Give me, stability. And that's what Indianapolis is aiming for. Go get the damn quarterback.
Yeah.
You can go win literally tomorrow if you're able to pull off that trade.
Yep.
And I don't know what the asking price is for Russell Wilson. I'd imagine minimum 3 first-round picks. But if you tell me 3 first-round picks, a second-rounder, a fourth-rounder, and I'd say a B-plus player, I'm doing that trade.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm doing that trade tomorrow. I'm bringing Russell Wilson to Indianapolis. We got to go to break. When we get back, the Lions are coaching in the Senior Bowl. And the list of quarterbacks that will be on their team was announced yesterday. We'll get to that after the break. Who of the 3 should the Lions be pursuing, if any? Are the Lions actually in the quarterback market this offseason, especially when it comes to the draft? But before we get to that, Guardian Alarm gets it, guys. A good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm is also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights, temperatures, and detect smoke and carbon monoxide. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
Today, that's 1-800.
Stay out.
Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Everything that we've hoped for finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, we're talking more football. The Lions are coaching in the Senior Bowl. They now know who they're coaching for quarterbacks. Speaking of which...
Do you like one of them more than... who's your favorite of the 3? I'm very curious right now. Tell me it's the little white guy from Western Kentucky. Well, he's not little. He's tall as hell, but
Bailey
It's
Zappi?
not.
you have your choice. Sam Howell, Malik Willis, Bailey Zappi.
Yeah. Well,
If you were to take a flyer on one of them, who is it?
I'm taking Howell.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I know. I know
Oh,
you weren't
no.
gonna like that.
Yeah, no. Not my cup of tea. When he was projected to be a top 10 pick before the season started, a good friend of mine came to me and said, hey, watch out for Sam Howell. He's going to dominate college football this year. And this is when North Carolina was ranked 10th in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I shot him a text message. I said, man, I can't believe you're one of those Justin. Don't be one of those Sam Howell people, man. You're going to be extremely disappointed. And I mean, he did regress. Granted, the talent around him wasn't as good as it was the year before, but beyond the point, the Lions do have Malik Willis, Sam Howell, and Bailey Zappi within arm's reach for the next few weeks leading up to the Senior Bowl, and I'm all for it. And if they draft one of the three, I'll tell you who my preference is in a little bit. But one of the three, I actually don't mind if he's taken in the 3rd or 4th round. But let's start with Sam Howell. Hard pass for me. Hard pass. He's that typical prototype quarterback that you want to see, but man, I saw a lot of bad habits at North Carolina. Way too many bad habits. And look, he could easily come to the league and be a decent quarterback. I mean, he does have that. He does have a gift, but not for me. And then this is where it gets really ugly, because I don't like saying mean things. These are kids. I'm trying to be fair here. I'm not trying to like completely dump on them, knowing very well their futures are ahead of them. I am off limits on Malik Willis. I don't care if he's in the 7th round. I could be totally wrong about this, but I don't think I am. He is not Lamar Jackson.
No.
We really need to understand that. When you want to take a flyer on Malik Willis, does Detroit maybe have the offensive scheme that you could build and work around him with, similar to Baltimore? Sure. He is not Lamar Jackson. When Lamar Jackson is asked to step up in the pocket, like he has most of this year, outside of his MVP year, he struggles to throw the football. Malik Willis plays Ole Miss, 4 interceptions. Imagine playing a team half of Ole Miss's capabilities every week. He would have thrown 30 interceptions. So yeah, I do have a problem with Malik Willis. He is not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson coming out of college, a Heisman candidate. He was faster than everybody on the field. You cannot say that about Malik Willis. You cannot, and that's why Baker Mayfield has a job in the NFL. Why? Because of Drew Brees. Because of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Because the smaller guys now are succeeding in the NFL. And now you have a guy like Lamar Jackson succeeding in the quarterback position who is extremely athletic. And we're going to use the extreme example to justify drafting Malik Willis. I am totally against it. I am totally against Malik Willis. I think it'd be a really bad decision. I really do. I think it's a complete bust. He doesn't have the speed of Lamar. He's not as gifted as Lamar. He doesn't see the field like Lamar. And you think he's going to walk in and, oh, that's the next Lamar Jackson.
No.
You know how hard that is to be the next MVP? A guy who's 32-7 as a starting quarterback in the NFL? Where teams know they need to stop him from running, and there are points throughout the season where you can't even stop him.
Yeah.
Stop with the Malik Willis train. I am not here for it. And that leads me to Bailey Zappi, who I do like a lot. I will not lie. I do have a crush on him. But I have a crush on him in like the 4th round. It comes with a huge contingency.
Sure.
Which is 4th round or later. I'm not taking him in the 3rd. You take Sam Howell in the 3rd, I'm okay with that. And I'm not the biggest Sam Howell fan, but I'm willing to put my brain around, okay, Sam Howell in the 3rd round, not the end of the world. You take Bailey Zappi in the 3rd round, I mean, he better hit.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, 3rd round pick. Russell Wilson, I believe, 3rd or 4th round pick. And what I mean by he needs to hit is he better play quarterback for you at some point and be pretty decent. So Sam Howell, I can have that expectation. Bailey Zappi, I'm not sure what his ceiling is. set a bunch of NCAA records this year. We've seen this so many times with different Houston quarterbacks. These guys that come out from Hawaii, they have all the touchdown passes, unbelievable completion percentage, but
Yeah.
who'd they play? You have your outliers, the Wyoming kid, Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You have the kid out of Cal, Aaron Rodgers. It happens. But how often does it happen? And now we're starting to see a trend from Alabama. They're starting to have the best quarterbacks come out. Mac Jones. Even Tua's a decent quarterback. Now Bryce Young coming up soon. Jalen Hurts in the playoffs. 2 Alabama quarterbacks in the playoffs right now. How crazy is that? Alabama, the school that we used to consider a quarterback bust school.
Yeah.
Now developing quarterback talent. So yeah, look, guys. Zappe probably the most popular, Howell the most conventional pick. That's what I would argue this morning. And going ahead into the Senior Bowl, the Lions are going to have access to these guys for weeks at a time. And they're going to be able to see them up close and personal. They're going to see them play on the field. And if you told me, Adam, you have to draft one of these guys in the 3rd round, no choice, you have to do it. Who are you taking? I think I go with Sam Howell. I think he's the safer pick. I think I can see his ceiling more than I can see Bailey Zappe's. Bailey's could be, he just peaked in college.
Yeah.
And he's nothing in the NFL. Sam Howell, I'll tell you why I'm kind of attracted to the idea of it. He was a projected top 10 pick. And he struggled at UNC his last year, which means he's going to fall. He was not a top 10 projected pick for no reason.
Right.
He does have talent. People do see something in his body of work. So if I get him in the 3rd round, I am inclined to believe that actually isn't the worst thing in the world. Now, do I want him in the 2nd? Absolutely not.
No.
Jared Goff is your quarterback next year. I don't want any of you to tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
He is the quarterback. Accept it.
No
Cool.
one's coming in here to take that
So you do not take a quarterback in the 2nd round. Now, Desmond Ridder, maybe? I don't know. You're going to have to make that choice. I am not comfortable taking a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. Now, if you're telling me that with the Rams pick, Kenny Pickett's available, we have to reconsider.
Yep.
But I don't think he's going to be available. So that's like irrelevant. Do you know what I mean?
I'm here for Kenny Pickett.
I think he'll be a good quarterback. I do. I think he'll be a good quarterback in the NFL. Maybe not Joe Burrow good, but not everybody can be elite. There's always room for average in the NFL. Whew. All right. Speaking of Lions draft talk, we do need to get to draft talk just a little bit. New mock drafts coming out all the time with the Detroit Lions. Who they're going to take, etc., etc. Number 1, number 2 overall pick. Are the Jaguars going to take Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Neal, Hamilton? Guys, I have, now that the Lions football season is over, I have had much more free time to watch film. To watch players make really good plays and really bad plays. And there is one player who stands out when I watch his film. But damn it, I can't come around to taking him at 2. And that's Kyle Hamilton. That is Kyle Hamilton for me. I am struggling with the idea that whatever happens at number 1, damn it, there's probably 3 really good ball players available. And you watch Kyle Hamilton, I mean, he just jumps off the screen. But again, expectations matter. What's the definition of a successful edge rusher in the top 3? He gets about 10 and a half, 11, 12 sacks a year. Totally doable in today's NFL since they throw so much. Quarterback pressures, etc., etc. What's the standard? What is the expectation of a safety taken in the top 5, let alone the top 2, which is where the Lions are picking? The last safety taken in the top 5, guys, Sean Taylor. I mean, he fit the billing. He would have been a Hall of Fame safety had he not tragically been murdered. So is this the next Sean Taylor? Ed Reed? Troy Polamalu? Keep in mind, Ed Reed, what round was he? Late first? I think he went 26th, 27th overall. Troy Polamalu was what, 2nd round pick? I'm not sure. So to take Kyle Hamilton at number 2 overall means he better be the best defensive player on your team. He better make All-Pro. Micah Parsons made All-Pro. As a rookie, it can be done. You're the best defensive player in the draft. Show it. And this year, you're going to have to decide potentially between Hutchinson, Thibodeau, and Hamilton. And I think it's so goddamn complicated. Yeah. It's a tricky spot for Brad Holmes. If he can't trade back, you're either taking an edge rusher. You really are. I think the Jaguars are taking Evan Neal out of Alabama. I just do. Mm-hmm. I don't see why they wouldn't give their franchise quarterback an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Having said that, Trent Baalke's got to make a splash this offseason. And what do the Jaguars need defensively? Secondary help. Could we see Kyle Hamilton go number 1 overall? I am not opposed to that idea. And if that happens, Detroit, then what? Then what? You are stuck between picking one of the edge rushers. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But damn it, I don't think there's a clear, this is who I'm taking. I'm putting my foot down at number 2 overall this year.
No, I don't think so.
And if you're the Lions, you absolutely must nail this pick. You have to.
I have faith for the first time ever, so I think we'll be okay.
If memory serves me correctly, the only secondary player outside of Jeff Okudah recently drafted, Jalen Ramsey. That worked out just fine. He became the best corner in the NFL pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And helped the Jags get to an AFC title game. So yeah, look. Where you take a player does matter. It does matter. And the draft sometimes falls where you can get a Micah Parsons at 10, 11. You can get a Penei Sewell at 7. Mm-hmm. This year, you're going to have the option, Detroit, of picking between Thibodeau, Hutchinson, and Hamilton. And if I'm really honest about the 3 defensive players, if you put a gun to my head, Adam, you have to draft a defensive player today. At number 2, you cannot trade back, Adam. Even though it goes against everything I may believe in. I think I take Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
I think I take Kyle Hamilton number 2 overall. He's jumping off my screen, Maddie, and I have to be very mindful of that. Mm-hmm. He's everywhere on the field. Again, tough for me. Tough for me to take a secondary player coming off the Jeff Okudah ordeal. But the kid's good. He's really good. I think he can be maybe the best defensive player that comes out of this draft. But then I also have really good feelings about Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yep.
And that he could be a premier edge rusher in this league. And even Aiden Hutchinson. I think he'll be he's good for 10.5, 12 sacks a year once he gets to his prime.
For sure. I would pick between Thibodeau and Hutchinson, to be honest. But that's just where I'm going. And I like Thibodeau over Hutchinson. So that's my pick if I'm drafting for the Lions.
Yeah, but see, I like the comments we have right now because I think people do see exactly where we're going with this. But coming off the Jeff Okudah ordeal, is he moving to safety? I need to know this information, guys. I'm not Brad Holmes. I am not. And if I am the GM of the Detroit Lions, and my intention is to move Jeff Okudah to safety, it really hurts my ability to take Kyle Hamilton. I have Tracy Walker. I'm pretty sure I plan on re-signing him. So what happens then? We'll continue this conversation towards the end of the show. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We have to go to break. When we get back, I'm going to give you all the scores, all the winners from NFL Wildcard Weekend. All the games. I'll do all 6 games. Actually, no. I'll leave the Monday game for Monday. I'll be a good sport. I'll give you all the Saturday, Sunday games, scores, predictions right after the break. But before we go, I got to tell you about Gypsy Vodka. The best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. Support our local brothers here from Michigan up in Petoskey and try a bottle today. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, drink responsibly.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! on you, please!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Live from Woodward Avenue. That's why we're called Woodward Sports. Detroit's real sports network.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, we're coming up on Wild Card Weekend. We've got some predictions for you. Adam?
All right, we'll start with the first game. We talked about it earlier. I kind of gave it away. I probably shouldn't have.
I did too.
Bengals,
That was like the first thing
Bengals
I said.
Raiders. I'm going Bengals, 27-23. Again, which quarterback makes less mistakes? Given the circumstances, I'm going to ride with Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow in his last 4 games, 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. And guys, I'm a big fan of Dan Orlovsky's. I'm not sure if you follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. I definitely recommend it. He found an interesting stat, which I thought, was a bit subjective, but the last 6 games where you could consider them must-haves, both in his collegiate and professional career. Must-have games. Joe Burrow has 27 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, and he's 6-0. When I saw that tweet, it's like, damn, this kid's a baller. Steps up in the big moments. And Derek Carr, I think, will struggle against the Cincinnati defense. It's one of the better scoring defenses in the NFL. Again, turnovers are going to dictate this game. Better quarterback play will dictate this game. I'm going to ride with Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor over the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. I got to get used to that.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years now. I mean, I should have it nailed down by now. It's really stupid of me. Anyways.
2 years compared to how long, though? I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
here.
very good point. Very good point. The next game, the Patriots-Bills, I've got the Bills walking away with this game 20-16. Probably the ugliest game of the weekend. I would not recommend. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. Definitely a slug fest in terms of how it's going to go down in the trenches. Give me the Patriots, or excuse me, the Bills. Maddie, who do you have winning?
I have the Bills winning as well.
All right, there we go. So we're 2 for 2 right now.
Yes, we are.
All right, moving on to Sunday. Now things get interesting. Niners, Cowboys. Maddie.
Niners.
I'll start with you. Really? Oh, wow. I was not expecting that answer. Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you what. Here's my problem with the Niners pick. On Monday, I was all over the Niners. I was loving. I was giddyish. I was so all about the 49ers on Monday. And as the week went on, everybody on Twitter was giddyish. And they were excited about the Niners, and they're going to upset the Cowboys, et cetera, et cetera. And for me, when the public is too high on something, I back off. And I think the public is extremely high on the Niners, even though I do like them. I'm going to stick with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys pull out a thriller. 31-30, okay. Last-minute field goal. They take the W. Eagles, Buccaneers. I think we both agree Tampa Bay winning this game.
Yeah.
Maddie?
Yep. The Bucs got this.
Yeah, I think the Bucs got it too. I'm not betting against Tom Brady, even if I think the other team can win or should win or will win. Betting against Tom Brady is one of the dumbest things you can do.
I think it'll be an interesting game, and I think it'll be honestly, I think it'll be a close game. I think the Eagles will put up a run for their money, but I can't bet against Tom Brady.
All right, I'm game for it. Probably the easiest game to pick. Pittsburgh, Kansas City. Kansas City, 12.5-point favorites. The biggest favorites on the weekend.
No,
I think they dominate the Steelers. Ben's gonna go home pretty butthurt, literally.
Yeah.
He'll be on the ground a ton. Spagnuolo will dial up the pressure against a quarterback who is not mobile, against a wide receiving core that is very inconsistent, and a run game that is hit or miss. Give me the Chiefs.
Yep.
And I'm glad we got this out of the way. Super Wild Card weekend over with. I can now move on. Back to the Lions draft talk. I do want to talk about it a little bit. A little bit more than what I was even planning on doing it. Guys, I love the points you're making. I love it. I don't mind it. What I will say is, yes, if it works, it doesn't matter where you take a player. But you don't know that right now. It's very easy for me to say, well, I'm taking Nakobe Dean at 2. because he's going to be a 7, 8, 9-time Pro Bowler. It's kind of stupid. The draft is about value. Drafting TJ Watt at 30, extreme value. Extreme value. So yes, it does matter who you take at number 2 and what position and how it benefits your team. But again, do you want to use the Hawkinson example? Well, Adam, you know what? We had the same conversation before we drafted Hawkinson. Okay, you guys talk like Hawkinson is worked out. You know how many games he's played in his first 3 seasons? 40. Do you know how many games Eric Ebron played in his first 3 years? Now you're going to have to make me go on my phone and pull up my tweets from a few weeks ago where you guys were ready to kill me, because I have to remind you of something that is very uncomfortable, I'm sure, for you to talk about. And here we go. All right. Comparing Eric Ebron's first 40 starts in his first 3 seasons to TJ Hawkinson. Get ready to be uncomfortable, guys. Here we go. Eric Ebron in 40 games, 133 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 7 touchdowns in his first 3 seasons. And he played only 40 games, so he missed a substantial amount of games. Out of a possible 48 games he could have played, he only played in 40 of them. So he missed 8 games. All right. Hawkinson has played 40 games in a possible 49. 160 receptions, 1,600 yards, 7 and 12 touchdowns. So more touchdowns, more yards, more receptions, but only marginally. And he's played the same amount of games. And he has the same catch rate, if not worse, than Eric Ebron. Because, of course, what do people say? Oh, well, Eric Ebron dropped the ball all the time. Okay. I don't mind. You can say that. But I am going to read you their pass catch percentage over those 3 years. And get ready for this, because you're not going to like it. You are not going to like it, my friends. Eric Ebron, rookie year, 53% catch rate. That's pretty bad. TJ Hawkinson, 54%. Rookie year. Second year in the league. Ebron improves to 67%. TJ Hawkinson, 66%. Year 3. Eric Ebron, 72%. TJ Hawkinson, 72.6%. We are so picky and so delusional on what we choose to accept as reality. You can say, oh, well, we said the same thing about TJ Hawkinson, but what has TJ Hawkinson done on the field that's different than Eric Ebron? Same production. I'm getting the same production right now. Now, let's have a real man-to-man moment here. Let's be honest with each other. Do we all agree Eric Ebron did not have anywhere near the ceiling right now that TJ Hawkinson has? Yes. We all believe in TJ Hawkinson. We think he'll come through. Absolutely. But the point is, your first 3 years, you've gotten the same production. The production is the same. And Funky, I just read your message as well. Okay, that's a fair point. If it's based on draft value and where you take them, okay, I think that's fair to say about Hawkinson. But what are you doing at number 2? And can we change the board, please? What are we doing at number 2? Edge rusher, Kyle Hamilton. Again, you asked me today, I'm probably going with Kyle Hamilton. He just doesn't stop jumping off my screen. But guys, how useful is Kyle Hamilton if there is no edge rush? If the quarterback has all day to throw? What the hell is he supposed to do? What the hell are the corners supposed to do? Tell me. I mean, the edge rushers play a big part in the National Football League. Does Pittsburgh have the best secondary in the NFL? No, the hell they don't. You know what they do? They get pressure on the quarterback. Overcompensates. So yeah, an edge rusher does matter. And look, whatever way they decide to go, Brad Holmes is in charge, man. I have no issue with it. But I'm just saying, positional value does have to hold weight when we're talking about the number 2 overall pick. Because the number 2 overall pick to be a defensive end, that's no issue. I've seen it happen before. I've seen it play out good and bad. To take a safety at 2 Wow. Let's talk about high risk, potentially high reward. Kid jumps off the screen. I don't mind it. But we got to go to break. Oh, my goodness. When we get back, we got to talk about the other side of the table. We got to preview the other 3 games. We got the Eagles, Bucks, Niners, Cowboys, Steelers, Chiefs, and then we're going to talk about Lions free agency just for a little bit. And then after that, we got our Super Bowl predictions. So stick around, guys. But before we go, I got to tell you about our good friends at Lady Jane's. As you can tell, I look a little bit different today. I did go and get my haircut at Lady Jane's. Got my beard trimmed up. Got my hair trimmed.
Oh, ooh.
I look a little different today. I can't complain. I wore a turtleneck. Maybe I was feeling myself today. Maybe I was feeling myself. But regardless of the point.
Did you get that hot lather neck shave?
Absolutely.
Ooh-wee.
It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's for Men. Walk in, relax, and watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, it's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Go! Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Cunningham open in the corner, he triples.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you're following us on social media on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook. Download the app on Google Play and Apple, and make sure you're downloading the podcast wherever you listen, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, or Google Play. Guys, we're going into the wild card weekend. We already previewed Saturday's games because we do get games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday this weekend.
I love football. This is why the NFL is king. People ask, why does the NFL get the best ratings? This is why. Because they treat their audience.
Treat yourself.
Whew. We'll start with Eagles, Buccaneers. You know what's funny about the Eagles? Early on in the season, they were struggling offensively, and everybody was killing them. Run the damn football. And what do they do midseason? They turn it around. They start running the football, and they end up leading the league in rushing, averaging almost 180 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. That is a lot of yards to average on the ground. So we talk about teams having a chance to upset maybe over the weekend. You got to look at the Eagles. Ability to control the clock, running the ball effectively, keeping Tom Brady off the field. They have a good pass rush, especially up the middle. Watch out for the Philadelphia Eagles this weekend. They're underdogs by what? 8.5 points? Give me the Eagles and the points. I don't think the Eagles get blown out. I really don't. I think it's a close game. Give me the Eagles and the points. I'll take Tampa Bay to win 24-23. Close game. Late Tom Brady field goal.
Oh.
Leads them on a drive. Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than people imagine. I really do.
I also think it's going to be a close game. I don't see any chance that either team gets blown out. Both teams know how to play. They know how to get the ball down the field. It's going to be a defensive played game for sure. I think Tom Brady thinks that he can run over the Eagles, but I don't think he's going to run over them as much as he thinks he is.
He struggled last year in the wild card round, if you remember, against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So look, another NFC East team will have to play in the wild card round. This time it will be at home. But look, Tampa Bay, they're 13-4, but my goodness, Brady's bailed them out so many times this year. And I get why he's in the MVP conversation, deservedly so. Led the league in touchdowns and yards. 44 years old. Jesus Christ.
I roll. I don't want to see him
So
winning
good.
the MVP again.
Well,
I know, but you know where I ranked him yesterday, so.
I know. Someone's bias here. All right, next game, Niners, Cowboys. Again, Niners can easily win this game. This is such a difficult matchup, but I will say, we get the 49ers and the Cowboys in the playoffs for the first time since the 90s, guys. You're talking when it was prime time. Steve Young. We're talking like some of the best football maybe in modern day history. And now you're going to get Jimmy Garoppolo and Dak Prescott. We'll see how it goes. Micah Parsons, I believe the only rookie defensively as an all-pro. And the Cowboys have 2 all-pro players this year on defense. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. So watch out for the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a better game than maybe I'm even expecting. Because I am concerned that this will go 2 ways. The Cowboys absolutely murder the 49ers. Or the 49ers actually come out and play them really well. And give them all of these 3 points. But if you're asking me who I'm betting on, give me the Cowboys in the points.
Okay.
I think they'll cover 3 points. I think they'll win 28-24, 27-23, something along those lines. Sorry. Got to go against the Niners. Even though I love them and I've been on them all year. Have to go against them this time. When the public tells me this is going to happen,
of course,
I look that way and I go the other way. When everybody,
there's people over there. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go.
When
this
everybody
way.
tells me that gas station has the cheapest gas, I'm gonna make a right down Woodward, and I'm gonna go check the other gas station, and it will likely have cheaper gas. Not going with the public here. Steelers, Chiefs. Give me the points for the Chiefs. There's no look. If the Steelers had a top 5 run game, I would consider it. But the Chiefs will be able to stop Najee Harris in the run game. The offensive line is not the best. How are you going to stop Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
They lit you up in 2 quarters. You were down like 34-7 at one point, I believe, in that game.
Yeah.
The Chiefs coasted to that win. So, yeah, I feel extremely bad for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. It's going to be an awful way to go out. But, hey, I mean, that's been the last 3 years. So, fitting of how he's played the last 3 years.
Yeah, but, we talked about this yesterday, too. Roethlisberger that came out, and they said, we know we're not the favorites. We know we probably shouldn't even be here, but let's at least go have fun. And I want to see what they come out and do. Because if they do come out and they throw some, I don't know, they just relaxed, and you don't see a whole lot of relaxed teams in the wild card round, that's for sure. So maybe I'm not saying by any chance that they're going to beat the Chiefs, but it might be a better game than we think it is. And they might come out and try some new things, put some new players out there, and it could be a fun game to watch.
I think I just read the greatest comment I've seen on YouTube chat in maybe 3 years. And I haven't even been around for 3 years. Michael Lucius. When fashion tells Adam that turtlenecks are out of style, he jumps in on them. I love that.
That's amazing.
That's a great comment. That is great. All right, people. As the official Jim Caldwell enforcer here on the Woodward Sports Network, somebody that does not tolerate positive,
that guy.
That does not tolerate any positive Jim Caldwell talk. I need to get to the bottom of this. What is going on with Jim Caldwell? Why is he being mentioned in this chat? You guys should know better. Jim Caldwell is not allowed in the YouTube chat on
Maybe
this show.
because he's the last person that actually did something.
What did he do? He won nothing.
Well, he won
nothing.
He won 9 to 10 games twice.
He won nothing. He won nothing.
Okay.
Fish.
Well,
what is the definition of success?
Winning.
Winning what?
Winning.
Divisions, playoff games.
Yeah.
Getting to a title game, Super Bowl.
Well,
none of that.
Many argue he didn't have enough time.
He didn't have enough. He had 4 years.
Okay.
And he walked into a loaded roster and under-delivered.
How many
and
years?
choked away the division twice.
How many years are we giving Dan Campbell?
Well, it's his first year.
I'm just asking you, how many years are we giving Dan Campbell?
2 to 3.
Oh, okay.
If he wins 3 games next year, I'm going to be extremely upset. But I don't think that will happen. The schedule's really easy, and I think the team will be a lot better.
Okay.
So, yeah, Dan Campbell's going to be here for 3 years minimum.
Okay.
And his job is to win the division and win double-digit games. And if he wins double-digit games, I don't think that's too much of an expectation from me in 3 years. He's got to win double-digit games. If he doesn't, what the hell are we doing? The Bengals just went from one of the worst teams in the NFL, picking in the top 5. Now they're hosting a home playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals.
Yep.
Who years ago we would call the Bungles.
Yep.
Who had Andy Dalton as their quarterback, who they moved off from. Come on, guys. Stop. Jim Caldwell was a good coach. I'm not arguing that he wasn't a good coach. But how obsessive we are and defensive we are of his time here is an absolute joke. And it's why I started the show yesterday defining what success is for you guys. Because you clearly don't know what it is. You go 58 years winning the division 3 times. That's your problem. You know what happens when you win the division? That means for that single year, you had the most complete roster likely in that division. You had the best quarterback, the best coach, etc., which means you're on track to win playoff games. If you want to say, oh, well, you got to at least have a chance, Adam, go to the wild card. You want to be a wild card team every year? That's what you want to be. You want to be a wild card team.
No, I mean, you want to
win your damn division, guys.
Yep.
But in order to get there, you got to start somewhere.
What do you mean? Start where? Winning nothing?
No, you got to start by winning the wild card, and then the next year.
Yeah, but they don't even win the wild card fish when they get there, buddy.
Well, but
see my
people
point?
bring up the pass interference call, though.
Oh my God, they got the ball. They got the ball after the pass interference call. They had a chance to go down and score.
Yes, Brad took his helmet off. That's the penalty.
Whatever. I'm not even entertaining this. Jim Caldwell, a good coach. One of the better coaches, probably the best coach since Wayne Fonts. I have no problem saying that. But stop holding him in some status level of a guy that's delivered you division titles, playoff wins, NFC title appearances. You need to shut the hell up and stop revering him as some phenomenal coach. Just because your franchise has done a shit job at delivering coaches for 58 years does not mean he becomes an upper echelon coach. He is not. He is not. And I'm tired of hearing it. I am tired of hearing it. Why did Calvin Johnson retire, guys? He didn't believe the team was going in a winning direction. And he was getting tired. He was tired of being in pain. But the team was not going in a direction that he believed they would be division contenders and playoff winners in the next year or two. That's why he walked away. Oh, wait, wasn't Jim Caldwell the coach at the time? Oh, wasn't Jim Caldwell the dumbass that lobbied so hard for Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald? Yeah. Wasn't he that dumbass? Oh, yeah, he was. Adam, they felt like they were a tight end away. Oh, they felt like they were a tight end away. Way to go, Jim. Way to evaluate your roster and say, you know what? Tight end at the time, which was not the most important position in football, not even as remotely as important as it is right now. Mm-hmm. We're going to take a tight end because that's the difference. Oh, not we want to add to our team and get more pressure on the quarterback, bolster our defense. No. Defense doesn't win championships. A tight end does. That's what we're missing. You want me to hold this guy in some status that he's some great coach? No, the F he isn't.
Well, he's the best thing we've had for the past 20 years. That's the problem.
Guys, my balls are the best thing the Lions have had in the last 58 years. Are you kidding me? Don't laugh, because I don't want to laugh. I'm being serious now. Like, we can't. I hate that argument. Just because the franchise has been bad.
Just based on numbers.
No, I'm sorry. No. Guys, Jim Caldwell was not a culture changer. You know who was? Jim Schwartz. He came into an 0-16 franchise, turned it around in 3 years. They struggled the final 2 years. I will totally admit that. Caldwell walked in with a really good roster. Why did Schwartz get fired? He underdelivered with a really talented roster. Caldwell walks in, does what you expected him to do. Contend for the division. Nothing after. 7-9, 9-7, 9-7. You want me to feel proud of that? What? Proud of what? Proud of what? Not contending for the division with Matthew Stafford as your quarterback, who when he leaves you for 1 year already wins the division and the hardest division in football. And you couldn't win when Aaron Rodgers was hurt.
You felt better than you did last year,
You couldn't win when Aaron Rodgers was hurt.
And the year before that, and the year before that.
Unbelievable. Stop talking about this guy was the greatest thing we've seen. He was a good coach, yes. So was Jim Schwartz. He was a good coach. But Detroit has never experienced a very good, great coach. And that is why you don't win divisions. And that is why you don't win playoff games. Because you're outcoached in the playoffs, and you're outcoached in the big games, and do not make me bring up his win-loss record against winning teams. Caldwell, the worst time management coach I've seen in my lifetime. The guy with 0 balls to go for on 4th down when it all matters in the playoffs. I don't want to hear how he's some great coach. Don't want to hear it. His philosophy was what? Being reserved and being admired by his players? Good, Joik. I'm glad you guys admired him. I don't give a shit. You know why I don't care, Joik? Because he didn't win a goddamn thing. You can love your coach all you want. If you're not delivering this city division titles, playoff wins, consistent quality football, winning big games, nobody's going to give a damn that you like your coach. So stop with the nonsense. And you know what Dan Campbell has working for him that Jim Caldwell never did? People love Dan Campbell, don't they? The players love playing for him. You know what I kind of like more about Dan Campbell than I already do about Jim Caldwell?
By kneecaps?
No, he's aggressive on the field. Even when he makes mistakes. And I can criticize him for that. I don't care. He's being aggressive, and he has a philosophy. His philosophy, I'm going for on 4th down. I don't care what you think. Okay, live and die by that. You and Brandon Staley can do that. Cool. I respect somebody that actually has a philosophy. The hell was Jim Caldwell's philosophy? A reserved coach who was liked by his players? That's what you guys want me to jump on board with, right? That's what I'm supposed to be proud of. What a joke. What a joke. Get away from me. We got to go to break. When we get back, Super Bowl predictions from Maddie and myself. I'm out of breath at the moment. I will not stop swearing. I can say whatever the hell I want. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys after the break. But before we go, I got to tell you about my bookie, which is the place to be betting this weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of next week. We've got football, baby. NFL Super Wildcard Weekend, brought to you by my bookie, of course. Sign up today using code Woodward. They'll match you dollar for dollar. Guys, easy money. You put in $100, they'll match you $100. You put in $1,000, they're going to match you $1,000. Consider it a risk-free bet. Guys, now's the time to sign up for my bookie. Use code Woodward when you sign up, and they'll match your deposit. Take advantage of the promo. And, of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Start your new year with a new network. Woodward Sports Network is here.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, I think Adam calmed down a little bit, so I think we're going to be okay. We do have a wonderful weekend of football ahead of us, and I know that makes him happy, so this is going to be wonderful. Speaking of which, we've got some Super Bowl predictions for y'all.
All right. This is tough for me. So before the season, full context, I had the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams in my Super Bowl. And after watching the Buffalo Bills struggle this year, I really, really had to reconsider what's going on in the AFC. And, of course, the NFC. Look, the Rams look good throughout the year, but Matthew Stafford's turnovers are definitely a concern. You cannot do that in the postseason and expect to win football games. So I am going to change my Super Bowl prediction. And I don't think anybody else is going to have this Super Bowl. So I'm going to let you say yours. Actually, I'll just say mine. I won't add any drama. I've got the Tennessee Titans facing off with the Green Bay Packers. I've got both 1 seeds going all the way.
Okay.
I think the Titans recover with Derrick Henry, and they just dominate the AFC. I don't think anybody is ready for A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, a healthy Derrick Henry, that defense. Nobody's ready for that in the AFC, not even the Chiefs. And then in the NFC, look, I just think it's Aaron Rodgers' year. Like, 2 straight NFC title game appearances before. And they win 1 game, they're in the title game again. It's tough for me not to choose Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to go Packers-Titans. That's my Super Bowl prediction. I think those are the teams that are there. Maddie?
I have Rams-Chiefs.
You homer.
I know. I know. What can
Tell
I
me
say?
why.
What can I say?
Why are the Rams coming out of the NFC? And what have the Chiefs shown you all year that gives you confidence that they'll come out of the AFC for a third straight year?
Sure. Well, they showed me Jackson Mahomes,
Please stop.
Just kidding.
If I was a dictator, we don't even need to get into this.
No. So with the Chiefs, I have full confidence in Patrick Mahomes. And the way that they played in the beginning of the season was crap. And I think that they've really pulled it together here towards the end. And they're just a team that's a powerhouse. And I think that coming into the playoffs, they always turn it on. And it's going to be one of those things that they just dominate. And I want to see it, to be honest. So they play the Steelers in the first round. And I think obviously they're going to beat the Steelers, and that's going to give them their first bit of motivation to keep going. So I've got the Chiefs. And then with the Rams, I think I see them as the underdog right now, honestly. I don't think anybody has faith in Stafford, and I think that he's going to pull it together, and I think that they're going to win. I don't know why. I just have this gut feeling, and yeah, that's what I got for you.
I don't mind that. I really don't. And again, there are 4 teams. If you told me they made the Super Bowl, I would say, okay, makes sense. And there's only one team in the AFC that makes sense to me, and that's the Tennessee Titans. The other 3 teams that I can totally see making the Super Bowl are the Packers, Bucks, and Rams.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me, oh yeah, one of these 3 teams made, I'd be like, oh, okay, makes sense. Not surprised. Eagles, I'd be surprised. Cowboys, I'd be surprised. Even the Niners, I'd be surprised. Chiefs, would it surprise me? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. The defense is much better than it has been in recent years, and maybe I'm sleeping on the Chiefs. But the offense isn't as dynamic as I've seen it to be. And we've become so in love with Patrick Mahomes that we look past just how really poor the offense has been running the last year and a half, I could argue. Mm-hmm. They were down in the Super Bowl up until the 4th quarter. They were getting nothing done on offense. It took a Tyreek Hill bomb down the field in the Super Bowl to change around that game. Like, we forget really just how ineffective it's been for a minute now.
Yeah.
And then, who else am I supposed to feel confident in the AFC? The Steelers? Hell no. Who else? The Bills? No. I think they're early still. Patriots? Way too early for them. And again, I was a big believer in the Bills early on. But all they do is win blowout games.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, maybe you win a few games via blowout. You're not winning the AFC title game via blowout.
Mm-hmm.
You're not winning a divisional game by 10, 14 points. Not going to happen. Who else should I have confidence in the AFC? I really think it's just Tennessee for me. I'm only confident in Tennessee on the AFC side. And in the NFC side, I'm only confident in 3 teams. But really, the team I'm most confident in is the Green Bay Packers. Look, I think it's their year. They go to a 3rd straight NFC title game and fail to win at Lambeau again.
Yeah.
How are you going to buy in Aaron Rodgers? The defense is good this year. There's no excuses. They have the best wide receiver in football. They have a dynamic 1-2 punch at running back. What are the Packers missing? For me, they're a complete team. Give me the Packers. Give me the Packers. Oof. Super Bowl predictions. Always fun to do. Always fun to do, and always, I would say, scary to do.
A little bit.
Because you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, literally, the team you pick to win the Super Bowl could very well be out in the first round. Now, I have the teams that have the bye week, so it doesn't matter for me. But someone who picks the Rams Monday, they could be out.
Yep.
Tuesday morning, you walk in like, what the... Like, my Super Bowl prediction is already gone. Like, we haven't even gotten out of the wild card.
I'll just predict again. It'll be fine.
So, no, it's always fun doing this kind of stuff. I will say, we give a lot of attention to what winning looks like in the NFL, and sometimes there's no shame in being a wild card team, right? Like, when the Packers are 13-4, if you're 11-6, there's no shame in being a wild card team. But when the division winner is 10-6 or 10-7 and you're 9-8, you should probably punch yourself in the face. And why, again, where I'm going with this is Detroit fans, expectations matter a little bit. Have a standard. What does winning look like? What should it look like? If Dan Campbell wins 10 games at any point in his first 3 years, he has earned the right for year 4 and likely year 5. Now, If he wins a division, I mean, that now we're talking a guy that has shown you he can deliver what you want on a year-in, year-out basis, which is contend and win the division. Then maybe you have yourself a long-term head coach. But if I tell you 3 years from now, you've yet to win a division, you've made one playoff appearance, you were the number 6, 7 seed, are you going to be happy about that? Honestly. And maybe it's not fair of me to say and give you that feeling of, oh, here we go again. In 4 years, we made a playoff, yeah, but we lost, and we haven't competed for the division. Like I told you yesterday for a reason, the division matters.
Yeah.
It is the building block, the starting point to building a successful roster. How do you win the division? Longevity. Healthy team, but the best team over the course of a season. Any team can get into the wild card. The Raiders found their way into the wild card. The Raiders. And teams can make the wild card. That's fine. We see it every year, new teams. But who wins their division? Those are the teams that, when you look at, they are one of the 4 best teams in their division, or excuse me, their conference. Now, there are years where you have a 9-win, 8-win division winner, okay? Those are the anomaly. But for most years, the division winner is 11, 12 wins, which means they're one of the better football teams in their conference. That is why you should aim to be successful at the highest point in your division, because it gives you the building block and it gives you a home game. It treats your fans to a home game. I'm so high on this right now. Like, it's one of the most important things I'm going to be preaching all off season and probably for the next 2 years is the definition of success in this town for the football team. It needs to change. Oh, I would take Jim Caldwell in a heartbeat. Give me 3 winning seasons and 4 and 2 wild card appearances. At least we have a chance. We can make a run like the Giants.
Yeah, look at what they did at a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did it. They're the anomaly. Who else? The Ravens, wild card? Didn't they win their division that year? Or was it the Steelers? Who else? Who else was a wild card team that didn't win their division that went on and won? Who? One of the years the Giants did win, they were the division winners. They were just 9-7. Nobody took them seriously. Come on, guys. Win your division. Start with the division first, and then talk to me about winning playoff games, getting to an NFC title game, getting to a Super Bowl. Dare I say, winning a Super Bowl. Do me a favor. Start with the division. We got to go to break. When we get back, David Culley fired by the Houston Texans. There are now 8 head coaching vacancies. And look, I know social media was up and there was a big fuss about it yesterday. I get it. Another black coach fired. Prematurely, maybe you can argue that, sure. And there's only one black head coach left in the NFL. But I'm going to break down the Houston situation. And I hope to change your minds on that. We'll get to that after the break.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Adam, another one bites the dust.
Yeah, I mean, you guys saw how excited I was on Black Monday, but this one, not
so
too excited. No, and it's not because David Culley was fired. It was how bad the Houston Texans organization is. I think they hired him to fire him. As crazy as that may sound, honestly, I think they didn't have a coach they liked. They went and hired a guy that they could just get rid of after a year and nobody would make a ruckus about. They didn't think he'd win games, and of course he didn't. They didn't have Deshaun Watson. They traded away J.J. Watt. They had already traded away DeAndre Hopkins the year prior. So, yeah. Yeah, I get the outrage, but what did you guys expect when he got hired? That he was going to turn it around in Houston? What was the expectation? Again, and maybe it's mean of me to say, but I think he was hired to be fired. He got $22 million to coach 1 year. I think he's okay. I think he's okay. I don't think it's the end of the world for David Culley. I'm happy for him. You got $22 million to coach a team for 1 year. It's a hell of a job. People don't make that in 7, 8, 9 lifetimes. You did it in 1 season. Good job, David. He's an older head coach. Now, do I think there is a diversity issue in the NFL? Sure. By the numbers, absolutely there is. But is that the reason why he got fired? No. I think he was hired with the intention of, all right, if there's a coach out there that we like and Deshaun Watson is back, we're going to go for him. And guys, who's available on the market that Deshaun Watson likes? Brian Flores. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how things work? Brian Flores, fired by the Miami Dolphins, excuse me. And it's reported the Houston Texans are interested. And David Culley, what was his job in Houston? I think he was just a stopgap. I think he was a guy that was going to be there for a year or two at the most, and then they were going to move on when they were ready to really rebuild the team. And they are still not ready. Why? Because the Deshaun Watson situation is yet to be solved. Do I like the GM in Houston? No, I do not. They got a big decision to make. And whoever this next head coach is, sure, good luck, even if it's Brian Flores. But until Deshaun Watson's back, what the hell are you doing with that football team? Brandon Cooks is your number 1 wide receiver. You don't have a tight end, don't have an O-line, don't have any running backs. The defense is average. Houston have the worst roster in the NFL. Jacksonville, not the Lions. Lions are actually pretty good, well set up right now. So it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Why are we in uproar of the Culley firing? And I really want you guys to try and explain this one to me. Please explain it. How are we so enraged when I told you this when he was hired, that it would not last? And you knew deep down it would not last in Houston, especially with Deshaun Watson not there. So what exactly are we mad about? That he got head coach? Huh? Tell me. I am so curious. I have 0 updates on the Deshaun Watson case right now. Why should I be confident in the Houston Texans? And again, if I'm them, I'm keeping Culley until I'm ready, but I'm not mad that they fired him. 1, he got a payday. 2, he was set up to fail, guys. And if you want to be upset at the organization, sure, that's fine. But what the hell did you want them to do? No Deshaun Watson, legal battle, weren't able to trade him. Are they going to go out and draft a quarterback this year? Doesn't look like the year to do it. Tell me. Tell me. I'm really curious. We have 6 minutes left before we get to our fan questions. I want to know what the uproar is about the David Culley firing. It is messed up. It is messed up. It is not okay with what's happening. Especially even the Deshaun Watson case. Totally a really, I would say an ugly situation, maybe is the better word. But come on, guys. What are we in uproar about here? What are we going to social media about, saying black coaches aren't treated fairly, et cetera, et cetera? And believe me, guys, like I'm all inclusive. I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, what did you expect when David Culley was hired? A 65, 66-year-old head coach, never a head coach before, hired to a team we all expected to have one of, if not the worst record in the NFL. What did you expect? What did you expect? Please. You want to be mad about the Brian Flores firing? Okay, but I think it's come out that he has huge disagreements with the GM and the quarterback. Okay, fine. Like, where are we going with this? The bigger issue is the lack of diversity. Okay. At the ownership rank, I think that's a difficult argument to make. Why? Because billionaires are the hyper extreme 0.00001%. Not many billionaires walking around the earth. All right, guys? Only a handful. Not a handful, but, barely over 100 maybe. And last I checked, who are the black men capable, or the black financial group of men capable of putting together $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $10 billion? And if they are there, are they being prevented from buying a team? The Broncos are for sale. I'm really curious. I'm asking questions. I'm not trying to shoot down anything. But regarding the coaching argument, I think you make a very good case. There is a huge lack of diversity for black coaches in the NFL. But I could argue that we have seen many of them get hired and many of them get fired. Who's a black coach that got fired that you truly believed was a great coach and never got a job after? I would like to know the name. The guy that, like an Andy Reid, took teams to AFC title games, NFC title games, won and lost playoff games, won divisions, accomplished so much, and then got blackballed. I'm really curious. LeBron is still in the league, guys. He's not buying a football team. Jay-Z, yeah, you could make that argument, but doesn't he already have a deal with the NFL? Adam's logic is the reason why there aren't enough black coaches. He will support Schwartz and his culture of undiscipline and still be mad at Caldwell like he played quarterback. What? I am so happy Corey is walking in right now. Corey, have a seat. We got to talk about this. All right? I want to talk about black coaches in the NFL and black ownership. So there's hundreds of billionaires, which isn't much in the world, right? So we're already talking about an extreme limited amount of people who are capable of buying a team, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why aren't there enough black owners? Now, some people that I think are capable of doing it that come to my mind are Jay-Z, LeBron,
Jay-Z, Diddy,
but
yeah,
they have to. But they're not $14 billion in net worth, where they can put up $6-8 billion on a contract from the bank and buy a team. So it has to be like a minority group.
Has to be a collective.
So the Broncos are for sale, and I don't think they're going to pursue it. And where I'm going with this is, I am willing to acknowledge there's a diversity problem in the NFL in terms of coaching. And ownership, I feel like that's it's early for that. And I don't mean early in terms of the opportunity's not there. I just think, guys, the civil rights movement was, 67 years ago?
Not that long ago.
Not long ago.
As much as people try to act
and we're
like
we're talking generational building of wealth. To earn billions of dollars, you're either in Silicon Valley or you're a real estate mogul, et cetera, or you're just born into oil money. Like, it's very difficult to attain millions, let alone billions. We're talking a different number here. And not just 1 billion. You need to have a value of 7, 8, 10 billion to buy an NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
So when people bring up black ownership, like I think it's just a matter of time. I think eventually it happens. Just it's too early right now, and I don't know where they are. Where are they? Where are the ones in this country that not just collectively? I'm talking individually that could buy. There's maybe 3 or 4.
There's a couple that you can get a group together. I mean, shoot.
But who owns a team as a group?
Alex Rodriguez doesn't have Oprah or Diddy or Jay-Z money, but he was able to go ahead and put together a group and buy the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Lynx. I mean, granted, that is an NBA team, but still
different money, but
still billions of dollars coughed up. So I really think it all comes. I'm going to say something that's going to ruffle some feathers. Hey, look, it is what it is. I mean, when you go to that NFL ownership group, it's a good boys club. It's a fraternity there. And the thing is, black men are not invited to that ownership table.
Well, I want to continue this conversation if you don't mind. I got to go to break real quick, but fun stat, and I think it's telling. Out of the 724 billionaires in America, 7 are black. So that means there are 7 people capable of buying an NFL team. Realistically, how many times a year does an NFL franchise come up for sale? You know what I mean? I want to get to it after the break. I think it's a different problem. It's not the one I think we're making it out to be. But we'll get to that after the break. Guys, we'll see you right after.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports. Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. Corey, I do want to talk about diversity issues in the NFL, especially at coaching. I want to start with coaching. I think ownership is such a tough conversation to have.
I would say I want to get one more thing on ownership. When you look at those owners who own these teams, that are the majority owners, they're not in the single digit billions.
Tens.
They're in the double digit billions. And while there are black billionaires, there are not black billionaires in the double digits yet. So it's going to take some black billionaires getting into that double digit before you can talk about the NFL ownership.
How did Paul Allen buy the Seahawks? He was one of the founders of Microsoft.
I mean,
we're talking the anomalies here with people.
Yeah, so
I think it's more fair to say there is a diversity problem at coaching because it's so difficult to even attain the kind of money to buy an NFL team.
Yeah.
But what's going on in the NFL? I think Culley, I'm not even mad about it because when he was hired, I knew he would get fired. Well, I had zero expectations for him. He was set up to fail.
So there are two things operating here, and I think one of the problems is people are trying to put both issues together. I'm going to tackle Culley first. Whether Culley was white, black, regardless of his race, that was a raw deal. That coaching, whoever would have coached that team, they were set up to fail. So, that's one total issue. I believe he got a raw deal, but like you said, everybody knew at one point he was going to get fired, regardless whether it was right or wrong. He was out of there, and that was a BS deal. Now, when you talk about the diversity amongst NFL head coaching ranks, that is an entirely different conversation because it wasn't a problem. It didn't just become a problem yesterday. It's been a problem. Granted, you want your head coach to be hired based on the merits that he is a damn good coach. But you're going to have a hard time telling me in a league that is over 70% black African-American players that there's only one black man, Mike Tomlin, that is capable of being an NFL head coach. I'm sorry, that is complete BS. You're not going to sell me that. You're not going to sell me that. After time, we're seeing these coaches get chances after chances, whereas black coaches, they really get the short leash. They only get one shot at it. How many times has North Turner been a head coach in the league? Yeah. How many times did he get the screw up after screw up after screw up? I mean, there are plenty of examples of it. So, it didn't just become a problem with Culley being fired by the Texans. It's always been a problem.
Leslie Frazier won divisions. Got to a title game. Where's his second job? I'm not even mad Caldwell didn't get a job, honestly. I think very little of. I think he's a good coach. I don't think he was not a guy I would hire for my franchise. But regardless of the point, I think you're going to see an influx of black coaches hired this offseason, though. Brian Flores. Brian Leftwich. Mm-hmm. And I think to your point,
who I think should be the head coach of the Jaguars.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect fit. I think it's the perfect fit. I mean, he understands. He played there.
Yeah.
He gets it. And he won there. It's not like he played there and they were a losing franchise. Yeah. They won divisions. They got to the wild card. Having said that, Eric Bieniemy, is he going to what's the deal with Eric Bieniemy? Is he ever going to get a is it because people just don't take him seriously because of Andy Reid? What's the issue with Bieniemy now? 2 years coming out as a quote-unquote front runner for jobs and never accepting or taking one. And I see Aaron Glenn as a future head coach. Excited about that.
Absolutely. That's going to be...
I think Leslie Frazier might be an underdog to get a job this offseason.
I want to say this to Lions fans real quick. Do not get comfortable with Aaron Glenn being here. He may be here another season or two. Maybe he may be here 3 years tops. I don't think he's going to be here long. Somebody's going to snatch him up. Might be hard for him to get a job after a 3-13-1 season, but once they take off, he's out of here.
Yeah, no. I mean, they are going to take off, in my opinion. I think they're going to be much better defensively. But, Corey, what do we do about this issue now? Right? Because here we are. Only Mike Tomlin is in the NFL. That is a problem to me. 32 jobs. You're telling me only one of them is occupied currently by an African-American? I find that extremely odd.
One by an African-American, and still, this outside of that, we still only have 3 minority coaches. Because, I mean, you still got to factor in Saleh and Ron Rivera.
And Ron Rivera, yeah.
So, I mean, it's diversity across the board is still a problem.
Oh, I know, but I think it's clear.
It's clear, yeah.
I think it's more clear with that because, I'll be honest, Robert Saleh, was there discrimination against Arab Americans being head coaches? No, because there weren't many of them, right?
Many of
so
them.
It's not even fair to put that in the same category. Same with Ron Rivera.
Just putting it out there.
So I think there's a big difference. You know, Robert Saleh, Ron Rivera, they are the one of 1 million.
But again, you're talking about guys, former players. None of these guys can be again.
Deuce Staley, whoever it may. My problem with it.
I want to go with Deuce Staley. The fact that Deuce Staley is even with the Lions is a problem.
Why?
And here's why I say that, because I felt Deuce Staley should have been the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He should have gotten a serious look. He was there that entire time. You see what happened when Nick Sirianni, am I correct? What happened when he stood up there? Yes, they finished their season a little bit better, but when he first started out, he looked like a complete embarrassment.
No, it was an embarrassment until they started to actually run the ball, and then they found success.
So, look, I mean, that's why I say that. That's what I mean.
What is the ultimate problem, though? Because if I look at, I don't have, man, you know what? I really wish I expected to talk about this today. I did not. I would have came prepared. I want to know the data on the average span of a white head coach compared to a black head coach. I would like to know that. I'm going to do
some research on that this week. I'm going to do some homework.
I really want to know that. Because if they're similar, I would be shocked. If they're similar. If they're totally different, I wouldn't be. I mean, that's what I'm expecting. But the point is, what are we doing in the NFL? What are you trying to do as a head coach? You're trying to build a foundation to coach 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And with David Culley, I'll use him because he's the recent example. I mean, honestly, Corey, when they hired him, I knew he was done.
He was dead man walking.
No Deshaun Watson. Like, it was a stopgap hire. They should have just named somebody an interim coach. But they hired him, and he's getting $22 million to walk away. So I guess I can't be mad at that. But here we are. I think diversity is important in any workplace. I think it offers different, unique perspectives. Not everything should be the same. But who is available right now that you would consider exceptional or can be exceptional in the future? And for me, there's a handful. There's a lot. Leftwich, I think, can be special. I like Brian Flores personally. You've got Aaron Glenn in Detroit. I'm high on him.
Gerard Mayo, he's getting some looks.
Gerard Mayo, the linebackers coach. Yep. You have Eric Bieniemy, who's always gotten attention but never a job. Like, they're there. They're in the coordinating positions. They're in the assistant, linebacker, passing game coordinators. They're in the positions. They're just not at the helm. And I think they can be. But Jesus Christ, I mean, every year, you're telling me only Mike Tomlin at the end of the year? It's kind of weird, man.
I mean, think about this. Think about the evolution of black players being starting quarterbacks. Look how long it took for that, because there was a point in time where they did not think that black players were capable of being a pocket QB or have the intellectual capacity to be a quarterback, which is crazy. Now look at how many starting quarterbacks in the NFL that are black. I mean, you got Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Cam was a former MVP. Lamar was a former MVP. Mm-hmm. I think out of the past MVPs, three out of the past 5 of them, they're black. Mm-hmm. If I'm not correct.
Marvin Lewis is the only coach in my lifetime.
I'll say that's the one coach, the one black coach that I think that he survived mediocrity, that stereotype. I thought that he was given
5, 6, 7 extra years. 6, 7 extra years
when he should have been gone. But I also think that's a testament to the Cincinnati franchise. I think they were just complacent with what was happening. They were scared to rebuild or whatever.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think there is a problem. Do I think there's a group sitting up there in every front office saying, "Oh, we're not hiring a black guy"? No, I don't think that's the conversation. Do I think that the Rooney Rule is a bit odd? And that it actually puts people in a disadvantage, yeah, because you have to interview them instead of wanting to.
I think it's the fact that there is a Rooney Rule is a problem because
Thank you.
because
I'm so glad you said that.
It's the fact that there has to be a Rooney Rule is a problem because you have owners who do not view black candidates as being capable of worthy of these interviews. Like some of these interviews you see, the black person, it's like in the movies. The black guy's the first one to die. The black guy's the first one to get interviewed,
Scary
and then you
movie,
kick him
black
to the
dude's the
side,
first one to
and
get
then you
caught.
interview who you want to.
Yeah, look, again, how do you fix that problem, though? That's not a black coach issue. Does that make sense? This is not an issue of the talent's not there. This is an issue of leadership.
It's an ownership issue. It's an issue of
it's a leadership issue in the front office.
It's an issue of, oh, you know what? I'm not going to look at this black person that's not being intellectually capable or having the skill set to go ahead and lead. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. It boils down to these owners, these front offices getting off of their prejudices and giving people a chance.
I think that comes down to leadership, not just at the ownership level, but a GM. Like if I'm a GM, I'm taking everybody. I need different perspectives in my front office. I don't need a bunch of 7, 8 white guys around me. What the hell is that going to do for me? I need some women. I need some men of color, women of color. I need different because I can't think for everybody. And we need that in the NFL, whether it's at the GM or the ownership level. So, yeah, man, I'm with you. I am. I hope it does turn around. I do think there's a bigger problem than even what it seems like. I don't think that it's a talent issue. I think it's a mindset issue going into what the definition of hiring a coach looks like. And the fact that we have a Rooney Rule, I think, puts them at a disadvantage. Like, I have to interview Aaron Glenn, even though I want to go hire Kellen Moore.
But also
how's that fair?
But also think about what you just said, though. Not too long ago, you just said that we're not too far away removed from slavery, right? Let's just call a spade a spade. Most of these owners are some of those guys from those prejudiced times,
and they come from families that had wealth during that time,
who got their wealth from that. So it's the mindset is still there, and I think we are unfortunately. We turned the corner with the black quarterback and black athletes because, I mean, let's just be real. They make these billionaires money.
I think it's a matter of time when it comes to black coaches really pushing through in that sense. But honestly, Corey, I think it starts at the top, man. It has nothing to do with the coaches. Like we're talking like when you build a company, do you want the guy leading it that is tunnel visioned and only sees one thing, or do you want a guy that's willing to see different point of views, your point of view, Fish's, Alex's, all these people? You need to get different perspectives because it matters. I don't know what it's like to be black, so why the hell, who am I to sit up here and cast any sort of judgment without conversating with you? I should get information from you, right?
Yes.
I don't think that's happening enough in the NFL, especially at the top.
It's like I said, it's always been a problem. It's not anything that just came about just yesterday. But hey, owners are gonna have to tackle this at some point because right now it's getting alarmingly embarrassing.
The Rooney Rule needs to go away, and what needs to happen is some owner, progressive GM, needs to lead the way and say, no, we're going to do this the right way. I'm going to interview all these people whether you tell me or not. And when I hire this black guy, white guy, whoever the hell it is, woman, I'm sticking with them, and we're going to make it work. Now, if it's a disaster, they should get fired, obviously, but that's not the point. I don't want to have to be told I have to be given a chance. I should be given a chance because I'm qualified, not because of my... Like, you know what I mean? That's my issue with the Rooney Rule.
Like I said, my issue with the Rooney Rule is that owners...
That's the wrong message,
my issue with the Rooney Rule is that it has to be done because you owners and GMs, they do not want to just be fair in their hiring and interview practices. That's why I hate it. So now they're giving an out. Well, hey, we satisfied our quota. We interviewed our black guy. Now we can go ahead and just go operate this as usual, as opposed to, like, you know what? I'm going to interview this candidate because I really believe that he has to. Instead of this, I'm going to just go ahead and fill a quota.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
don't
with
like
you.
that.
We're well over the time, but
Yeah.
I have one more question for you. I'm so sorry. This is like really important. Is there a recent coach in recent memory, black coach in the NFL, that you feel has been blackballed? Please don't say Jim Caldwell. Outside of Jim Caldwell, I don't want to hear the Caldwell thing, but has there been a coach where you're like, the hell did they do? He was like, right now for me, it's Brian Flores, but it's way too early because I think he's going to get a job anyways. But has there been a recent coach that's like they got a chance, they were doing a pretty decent job, but they were just dumped away right away?
You know what? Off the top of my head, I can't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too.
Off the top of my head, I can't say.
I want to talk about this
because I wanted
Monday.
to say Lovie Smith, but I'm like, okay, Lovie Smith did get another shot.
Yep.
But I mean, it's.
Can you come back Monday?
Yeah, I'll come back Monday.
Let's do some research. I want to find out the disparity in terms of years coached by white and African American coaches too. I do want to get that data. I want to talk about this Monday, man. This is really good.
Let's get it.
I love you, man. All right, we got to go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry we went over. We got to go. Have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.